purpose? Probably not that many.
I
I think most people want to be purposeful.
At some point, you have to kind of be a realist, though, and be like, what if I am, or what if I am just a cosmic coincidence? Like, so what? I can still attach my own purpose in life, like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you can't.
I think
Yeah, you
when
can.
you don't have like
No, you can't. And I can
a
explain
god,
why.
I
when
know
you don't have a god,
like I know, Matt, that you think that your knowledge has to come from God and your purpose has to come from God because He created you, but I just reject that premise.
I think when you don't have a god,
No, I wasn't going to use the premise. I was going to use your own against you. That if you believe in materialistic causation that brings your brain into to what it is, then your brain is nothing more than chemical reactions. You can't know if you have purpose or not, or understand anything or not. It's just chemical reactions in your brain. That's
Well,
all.
of course you
Nope.
think that though, because you define purpose truly through the means of like
Mhm.
following scripture and believing in God, right? That is your
And
purpose, and you believe that
You didn't
anything else
hear what
is
I
not
said.
purpose.
and
You didn't hear what I said. I
here,
didn't mention God. I said from your perspective of materialism. That's what I said. And you ignored it. If your materialistic worldview is what it is, and you assert that the evolution is true and mechanics and evolution and chemistry, and your brain is a result of that, then your
Okay,
brain
here
produces
I got
can you
I got
go ahead, yeah.
necessary chemical
here
reactions.
I got
How do you know that what you're believing or have purpose or anything is nothing more than just chemical reactions?
Here, Matt. Matt was talking to me, so I can respond to him. It's
Sure,
that
sure, yeah.
Matt doesn't even know me, and he was asserting that I believe in materialism because of the way that I believe that the universe was
I
created.
said,
And hold on, Matt.
I
It's
said
that,
if
but
you
that
do.
if I do, but the
You
thing
gotta
is,
let him respond, hold on.
I don't hold a strictly materialist view because I believe in the existence of a soul, and I believe that the soul is in all the immaterial things that make up a human being.
No.
So I can still attach my own. I don't believe that my purpose comes from just the chemicals firing in your brain like you assert. I believe that my comes from something that I decided myself, which is the result of, comes from my soul.
Also, to
And
the
you
gentleman
did,
that disagrees, can you define purpose, just so we know what you're talking about?
I'm trying to understand your position here. So did you say there's a soul in inanimate objects?
I
No?
said that there's a
Oh,
soul
okay.
in living beings. I believe that there's a soul in all living beings, and that goes from insects to human beings.
You have souls.
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
All the
So a
Go ahead.
bacteria has a soul. What's a soul then?
A soul is all the immaterial things that make a being who they are. So, for example, all my emotions, my thoughts,
Oh,
my emotions, my thoughts, my feelings, my sense of self, my sense of purpose, my sense of values, my morality, all those things are
That's
contained
a
within the
really good
vehicle,
definition.
that we call a soul. Kind of like, and I'll finish here, is kind of like how the body is all the physical things that make up a being. So my body is made up of my nose, my eyes, my skeleton, my meat, all my meat. That is all the physical things that make a person who they are.
okay. So you're
Really good
just
response.
defining it. So, that's okay if you want to define it that way, and I'm glad you clarified your definition. You just define it that way according to your preferences. That's what you're doing.
Can you clarify your definition of purpose? Because I'm really curious as to what you mean by that.
I'm not exactly sure what I would mean, but a purpose usually is a goal that you have that you seek to achieve, some sort.
Okay, so
Or
can that happen without God? So like if I say my goal and purpose is to feed every starving child in America, and then I go do that, is that not fulfilling an intended purpose?
yeah, that would be a self-declared purpose. I
Okay,
was
so then
saying
you do
earlier
agree
that
that they can be independent from God, right?
what I was saying is that earlier, if you hold to materialism, then you can't define anything. Nothing is verified. It's just meaningless, ultimately.
Yeah, but he's not a
That's what I was
materialist. You
saying.
just said that to
Yep.
be
Yeah,
fair.
I got that. I got that.
Okay, okay.
So, what do you hold? Is there a God or is there no God? Just curious.
I hold to deism, that God created the universe, but He is not personal, but He's not a personal being. And Matt, I'm just more curious. Is like, do you think
Okay.
because I feel like you didn't answer a question that we asked earlier. Is like, do you think that you can have a purpose without God? I know you define it as a self-made purpose, but is that purpose at all relevant to the nature of the universe?
What? You're asking all kinds of stuff. You're throwing them together, not making a coherent
Sure,
question
sure.
here.
I'll ask the coherent question once again. It's that can you have a defined purpose without God?
Well, to define what you mean by God and what you mean by purpose and what you mean,
It's
that's
it's
all.
not it's not my definitions anymore. I'm asking you.
Well, from my definitions, no, you can't. You can't ultimately ground them. But people can certainly claim to have certain values that they can have, but they can't ultimately justify that those values or purposes are good or bad or anything.
Sure you can.
What do you mean by ground them? Like, if I ground... Okay, hold on. Let me just give you an example, and you can tell me if you think this is me grounding my axioms. So if I say that good is generally associated with something that I would define as being positively impacting on a general society. So like living life optimally, right? Maximizing overall good mental health, physical health, advocating for the continuation of life. But then the opposite would be bad, and bad is like, maximizing people's ability to commit crimes and furthering the suffering, the unnecessary and unjustified sufferings of society and civilizations. Do you think that those are two well-grounded definitions, or do you think I'm just like bullshitting?
No, you're not.
Can you tell me why they're not?
I'd just like to be able to finish my sentences, if that's okay.
Sure, yeah. Just tell me why they're not.
You're using the same arguments the atheists are using. So basically, to reduce it, you're saying good is what benefits society. Well, what benefits society? That which is good. It's circular. That's all it is.
No, the way you can define your values and what you believe benefits society through your own moral principles.
You're not hearing me.
I heard you. I heard you just fine.
Is your standard universal or is your standard subjective?
It is subjective.
All moral concepts are subjective because they're
So
moral
then,
constructs.
if you say it's subjective, then you can't have it universal. You can certainly say I believe such and such, and that's fine. You have an opinion, but you can't ground it as any ultimate good.
Yeah, I can.
If you say it's your opinion that good is what benefits society, you have to define what benefit means. But if someone else says good is what does not benefit society, then who's right or who's wrong?
Yeah, but all moral concepts... Wait, hold just real quick.
One at a time. You got a dog pile, I'm out.
I stopped, Matt. I let him speak.
We're taking turns. The concept of morality is subjective in its nature because it's a social construct. It necessitates the existence of humans to construe or determine or judge what is bad and what is good, right?
Yeah, that's not true. What if I could show you...
It's not true? Okay.
In 5 minutes, I have to make a call because I'm waiting for food. I'm out in a line in the car
really
waiting.
Convenient. No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
Well, it is. I can show you a picture if you want. I'm at Olive Garden.
We believe you, Matt. Go on.
All right.
We believe you. Yeah, we're joking.
Okay. So, now I forget where I was at. What was I saying? Dang it. I hate that.
That you can show us why morals are not subjective?
Oh, yeah. Do you agree that statements are true or false?
Yeah, as per the law of excluded middle.
Well, some statements are non-falsifiable.
Okay, so here's a statement. Is the statement true or false? It is always morally wrong for anyone to torture babies to death merely for their personal pleasure.
I will answer that. It's that to me, yes. To someone else, to some wicked individual, sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Okay, you contradicted yourself. If you say yes, it's true, it's always wrong for anyone, then you can't also...
Go ahead, yeah, go ahead, sorry.
The statement is true under the belief...
I'm trying to talk to you, keep interrupting, and I gotta go anyway. You don't want a serious conversation, I get it.
We do, bye Matt. We do, but
I'm serious, I'm out.
No, we do, but bye Matt. You can just cop out and leave, it's fine.
I thought we had 5 minutes, that's plenty of time. No, I'm just kidding.
He said...
I'm over here, Matt.
Do people not recognize that there are differences in moral judgments? Like, that's all moral subjectivity is.
Yeah, that is the idea, and it's a...
Well, they view morality as subjective, so they believe their sense of morality is not like their own, but received to them through God, right?
The thing is, he already agreed that morals aren't universal. So how could you say that they're...
It's like this. No, here, I can explain this, because I talk to moral objectivists all the time, and it's what Matt is trying to do, and is he trying to apply his objective moral belief system onto our subjective moral principle. He is saying that killing and torturing babies is what he's appealing to is a higher moral authority. We are simply appealing it to the morality that we ground in ourselves. And that's why he just says, like, either torturing babies has to be true or false universally. And I say, no, it is subjective. And that's why that's why he got mad and left.
Yeah, well
is it a natural wrong to...
can be compared with a moral judgment of another human's actions or the state of the world. That's absolutely disanalogous. It's completely
Well,
disanalogous and unfair
he's
to the
not saying
conversation.
that moral
Because
judgment.
I'll tell you why, just real quick. Because it assumes that there's anything to be considered a truth or false in morality, and that's simply not the case. There is no such thing as a moral truth. There are no universal concepts of morality. Everywhere you go in the world, people have different concepts of what morality is and why they believe certain things.
But I think you're mistaken, and you made a mistake about his view. I think you are saying that he thinks that moral judgments are objective. I agree with you that the judgments, the individual judgments we make about what is right or wrong, those belong to individuals and societies. But that doesn't say anything about the ontology of morality itself. Like, it's still possible for us to make our own subjective judgments about something, and for morality's nature to be objective or grounded in something other than our human subjective experience.
Not exactly. It's not that we are judging people. We just believe that it is true we believe that it is wrong to torture babies. Like, it's not really a judgment call. It's just about more of a belief system. It's not like, I don't know.
I can actually push some type of hypothetical in which this would be true, and subjective and objective concepts, or whatever. Yeah, they can I can give you an example in which these two would coexist. It's like, let's say that there is a God, and he does judge people, and your ultimatum is either heaven or hell. Well, humans can have their subjective disagreements and moral judgments, but the objective way, the objective metric, or the objective distinction of morality would come ultimately when you are judged by God, because that is the only morality that matters, and that is the morality that defines your the rest of your eternity as a human in heaven or hell, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you follow? Sorry, that was a little complicated, but
yeah, I follow.
Okay, so then that could be the case. I just don't know that that's the case, right? Like it's possible that humans have a wonky conception or understanding of what morality is. We're just not there yet, and we don't know because we haven't been judged.
I have a question to pose to Snape and Catholic Trad. It is, how do you know that Catholicism's objective moral law is correct and Islam's objective moral law is false?
Yeah, because with regards to Islam, the God of Islam does not conform with a true God, because a true God cannot change.
I'm not asking about whether or not your guys' gods are true. I'm asking about the moral law, itself. I'm asking how. Hold on, Trad. I'm almost done. It's that. So
I'm clarifying. I understand your question. I'm clarifying it. You have to point to God. You have to point to the true concept of God in order to answer the question you posed. Because God is the center, ultimate grounding for truth itself. So with regards to the true God, he conforms to the Christian God because he is unchanging.
Hey, so you're just arguing.
I mean, all you're saying is
all the other claims of gods. So with regards to God has revealed truth claims with regards to morality, we can know that his claims are true.
How do you know that?
Because he's written it upon.
It's divine command to whatever the God
if it helps, all you're saying is
he asked me the question, guys. He asked me the question.
We're just trying to prevent you from rambling, dude.
Why don't y'all just be quiet? Just stop interrupting. That's why Matt Slick left. You guys can't behave yourselves.
We behaved ourselves just fine. Matt just had hold on, Catholic. I'm not gonna take the ad homs first of all. It's like Matt Slick.
I didn't ad hom anyone. They obviously couldn't behave themselves because they're constantly interrupting, which is rude. That's misbehaving.
Catholic Matt left for two reasons. One, he had someone to be, and second of all, he just didn't want to engage. And first of all, you are ad homing me because I was the one talking.
No, he he didn't want to engage because he said why he didn't want to engage because you guys kept interrupting him.
Guys, can we just go back to the question?
Yeah. So
Which you guys are doing to me.
We're trying to prevent you from
Now,
rambling about something
I
that's
was
not answering the question.
I was attempting to answer Bubba's question. I would like it if everybody was to just pipe down and allow me to finish.
To be fair, Catholic, when you were asked a very clear question, all
So
you said was my God is true.
apparently, I can't continue. I mean, I don't interrupt you guys, but apparently, you guys feel the need to.
I called you out.
The reason why people are interrupting you is because you're not directly addressing the question, my friend.
Let a Catholic trad talk, guys. Let him talk.
I will kind of.
Yeah. So the question Bubba asks is, how is it that we know that this God, this one true God, has revealed these moral truths? We know this through both general. Stop interrupting! I'm trying to answer your question.
That is not the question I posed to you.
Yes, that is. You explicitly said, "How do we know that he went ahead and?" How is it that he? Okay, what was your question?
Here.
Go ahead. What's your question?
Yes, it's like this. Islam has an objective moral law that they follow. Catholicism has an objective moral law that they follow. I'm not asking about how you know their gods are true. I'm asking how do you know that this one is right and this one is false?
Oh, well, I already answered that part with regards to everything that I said previously about knowing that one God is false and the other God is true. Because one God answering it. Stop. Because one God conforms to the true God. Then you posed a different question after that, which was, how do you know, with regards to this true God, that he has revealed these moral truths? That was the second question you posed, which I was trying to answer before everybody started interrupting. Do you want an answer to that question?
And I...
Yes or no? Do you want an answer to that question?
I heard your answer, and I don't agree with it.
What was my answer? What was my answer, Bubba?
Your answer was that we need to mute Wiseape because he's kind of the reason that you hear people.
What was my answer, Bubba?
I'm trying to answer you, but Wiseape is overtalking me. That's the person that's overtalking everyone. It's like if I'm
already have them muted. Just mute.
Yeah, Bubba was in here before interrupting.
Or
not.
Shit.
It was Wiseape.
It's Wiseape. It's just like
I'm sorry.
Bubba, don't worry.
Oh yeah, so sorry.
Wiseape is now on my list for.
This guy,
I will address what Catholic said. The answer to his question was like the way that you know that the moral truth of Catholicism versus Islam is true is because you know that the God is true based on like what Jesus.
That's not the question you posed. The second question you posed. I was attempting to answer the second question. Stop.
Now who's interrupting who?
Catholic, relax.
Yeah, now who's interrupting who?
Your question.
That's not the second question you posed.
Now who's interrupting who?
Wait, hold on. The purpose of his response was not to tell you what question he asked you. You asked him a very specific question of what your answer was. That's what he was answering.
No,
and you need to let me flesh out my response more so I can tell you that I understand what you were telling me.
Okay, I didn't even give an answer to the second question that you posed because everyone was interrupting me. So I didn't give the answer. So you don't know the answer to the second question.
You just asked him a question. You just asked him a question.
You can't have it both ways, Catholic.
Did you not?
You can't say that that is not the response that I gave, and then say that I was interrupting you before you could respond. Either you responded or you didn't. I'm trying to say how you responded, but now who's interrupting who? Because you just jumped in and
What was my response, Bubba, to the second question?
That's
the question that he was trying to answer.
I didn't ask you. I asked you, Bubba. Stop piping. Stop.
Buddy, relax. Calm down.
No, you calm down. I'm speaking to Bubba. Stop chiming in.
Incredibly fucking emotional of this. Calm down.
Stop using vulgar language. This is a Catholic voice show.
Catholic, stop using stop fucking interrupting. It's
okay. All right.
Any
Catholic moderators?
Hey guys,
you are being kind of a pig.
If there's not any Catholic moderators here, then I'm just going to leave. You're just a bunch of rubber.
Catholic, why would you interrupt him if he's trying